What's up, my beautiful fruit and veggie lovers? This is Kuba here, and I'm with a special guest, Carine. Carine is a health and empowerment coach who empowers young women to overcome food addiction and manifest the body of their dreams. I wanted to bring her on the show today because I think she's doing really cool things, including like juice fasting and stuff, and helping people to be healthy, overcome food addiction, and be beautiful and feel beautiful. So I think she will share some really good, powerful messages today. So Carine, how about you tell the people about yourself, your personal journey, and how you became passionate about helping women and people with food addiction.
Thank
and
you
welcome to the show.
This is really exciting. I love doing these interviews with you. So my name is Carine. Like Kuba said, I am a health and empowerment coach. And my journey started when I was very, very young. I had a very traumatic experience from the age of 1, which led me to develop an eating disorder and body dysmorphia, a lot of shame and judgment. I was bullied. So all of these experiences in my life led me to not love myself and my body. And it really made me do things to my body that were very detrimental to my health. And mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I was just very disconnected from everything and from myself, especially. And after, when I was growing up and I had more awareness, then I started being interested in my health, and I started asking questions. And I saw that I was addicted to substances like sugar and food, and I was coping with these things, and it was keeping me from being fully free. So then my journey started, and I started really diving deep into why. Like, I started asking myself, like, why am I like this? How can I overcome this? So I started doing cleanses. I started really going into it, and then so many things unfolded from that space. And now I found that it's my passion, and I would love to help other people overcome it, because I know how it feels to suffer and to go through those experiences of shame and guilt and fear of how you look. And it's a lot of women who suffer from this. So being a woman who overcame it, I feel like it's my duty to share my experience and how I overcame it to others. So that's how I got into it. I'm very passionate about this now because I feel like I overcame so many hard challenges in my life that people go their whole life not knowing how to overcome it, like addiction, sugar addiction, and food addiction, body dysmorphia, like hating yourself and trying to change so that you could fit in the box that society has put for you. So having like overcome these challenges, I feel like it's my duty to share my experiences and how I did it with other women, because so many people suffer from this. And I'm so passionate about health now.
And why are you so passionate about specifically helping women with food addiction?
Because women, I know how powerful women are. Women are the seed of creation. Like, without women, life wouldn't even exist. And it's very sad to me that so many women are disconnected from their body and how powerful our body is, how beautifully designed we are. So me being a woman and reconnecting to my own power, I want to show women that you are powerful. You can love yourself. You can see yourself as the divine being that you are. My work with women is very special. And I feel like I can relate to them. I can understand them. Whereas a man's mind is just created differently.
How do you encourage women to feel good in their bodies and love their bodies and be beautiful, look and feel beautiful?
So I encourage them to be their true, authentic self. So first, I go through a process of releasing releasing all of the illusions that the mind had created. So all of the things that are not true, because the truth is that we are already enough. We are already beautiful. We are already divine and perfect the way we are. And I help them find what is causing them to like see themselves as not enough, no? So I help them dig through the limiting beliefs and really what's going on in the mind, in the mental state first. And then once we release that, then all of that pressure and all of that weight will be lifted off. And then we can build a stronger foundation from that space. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned like you help them get the body of their dreams. Like, so what you're explaining now, getting the mental down and like seeing that they're already perfect as they came to this world. Like,
Yes.
How does that compare to having the body of their dreams? Like, is there a body of their dreams? Is there a specific body of their dreams? Can you explain that?
Yes. Okay. So there's a difference between wanting to look skinny and to look a certain way and coming from a space of wanting to change to fit into a box and to feel accepted, and doing it from a space of like in an unhealthy way, like pressuring yourself because you think you're not good enough as you are. There's a difference between trying to change yourself from that space, and then there's a difference when you're doing it because you already know you are enough and you love yourself and you already like feel good in your body, but you have some goals and you want to challenge yourself and you want to achieve these goals, and you're doing it from a good space. Like your intention behind it is good, you know? It's not from a space of wanting to feel accepted by society or trying to fit in a box. You know, you're doing it for yourself and only for yourself, you know? So it's really important that your intention is good. And the women that I help are women who suffer from body dysmorphia, who have had eating disorders, who have had traumatic events, who have been bullied or fat shamed. So these are women that never had a good relationship with their body. They didn't know what that even meant. So I help them fix the root so that you have a very strong foundation and a very good, loving relationship with yourself. And then you could build from that space, you know? So that's the difference between the two. And the funny part is, well, it's not really funny, but it's interesting because when you're doing it from the space of neglecting yourself and starving yourself and finding short-term results, you know, like doing it in a short period of time, wanting to lose weight, it doesn't work. You always end up gaining the weight back, you know, because you're doing it from the wrong intentions. So I help women build their foundation and do it from a good space so that they can have sustainable results in the long run.
So it sounds like a lot of what you're talking about is about the body, like women not feeling good in their bodies. So they're trying to like fix it fast, but it's not sustainable, and they're like hurting themselves and stuff. But it sounds like you're also connecting with food. So like, what's the relationship that food has? Why does it have to have something to do with food?
Yeah, because basically whenever you have an eating disorder, it's more about the relationship you have to food and how you're using food to cope with your emotions, with your negative emotions, and you're not using food as fuel. You're using it to cope. It's not giving you energy. You're doing it mindlessly. You're not even thinking about how like this food is giving me life. It's nourishing me. It's helping me grow. It's giving me joy. It's making my mind more sharp. You're thinking about food in a way like, okay, like it's so easily accessible for me to just grab things and soothe my pain and not feel it and avoid it. So I help women first fix the root cause of their issues and then cultivate a better relationship to food so that they're not using it as a way to cope, but they're using it as fuel. And the way they cope with their emotions is just by breathing and by being very centered in their own bodies. And like they're not relying on anything outside of themselves to be good and happy and peaceful.
Okay, can you dive deeper into some of those solutions you were just mentioning? You're like breathing and going in. Like how do you use these techniques to help women? Like what specifically do you, like in what way do you help them?
I use many different types of methods, but the ones that I found most effective are really guided meditations. So I help them I guide them through a meditation. And the journey is really an inward journey. Like we have to tune in with what is actually going on inside of ourselves. So the women that I work with are usually they come to me and they're very anxious. They're very stressed. Their state of being is from a survival state. Like they're in a state of fear, of judgment from others because of how they look, or they have anxiety because like they don't feel good in their bodies and they're scared people are gonna judge them. It's always like the root is fear. There's so much shame and fear around it. So when I'm guiding them through a meditation, I'm helping them reconnect with what is like your body asking of you. Like what is it telling you? It's telling you you have anxiety because you have to look at these areas of your body, like it's trying to communicate with you. So I'm helping the women see their body as their friend and not something to fear. You know, like your body, maybe you're putting on weight because your body is trying to protect you, you know? So I guide them through a meditation so that they can become conscious of their emotions, which is driving all of the addictions and it's driving everything that they're doing in their life. So when you can tune in with your emotions and what is going on, and I also guide them through like breathing techniques. So how to regulate yourself without food, how to regulate yourself with your breath, because we have everything we need on the inside. We don't need anything on the outside, no? So I help them tune in and cultivate a better relationship with the inner world, the inner body. And other techniques that I use is how to connect with your food, how to eat in a mindful way, in a very relaxed way, how to breathe before you're eating food so that the food digests better, how to chew your food. So these are like a lot of different techniques that when you're in a state of fear, you're so disconnected, you don't even think about these things.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's not just what you eat, but also like how you eat it plays a role.
Exactly.
I find that really interesting because I know some yogis that I look up to, like gurus, talk about like the importance of being present with your food, taking time to connect with the food, and then how you handle the food and all that stuff plays a huge role in like how it communicates with your body and how you feel with that food. Exactly. I think that's cool.
It's all living. Everything you're putting in your body, how is it giving you energy? Because it's a living thing. It's living energy, right? So you have to connect with it so that the frequency of your body and the frequency of the food that you're putting in your body is connecting. You know, you're putting it in your field, you're introducing your vibration to it. There's this relationship. It's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, that's one thing I try to help people realize, that like the food is a part of the planet that's alive, that where our bodies are alive. We're just connecting. We're just fueling our bodies with the piece of the earth. And
Yes.
like the more life force that food has, the more life force our bodies will have and will manifest in our lives, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of studies that have been done, like experiments that have been done, even that prove it firsthand. So, like the banana experiment, I don't know if you know about that one, or
Is
the
it like
rice.
is it like showing the energy field around the food or what?
No. So basically, they do this experiment where they take two bunches of bananas. They put
Mm-hmm.
one in one room and the other one in another room. And every day for a week straight, you go tell the banana, like you speak to it and you say loving things. You say, I love you. Thank you for nourishing me. You are so sweet. You are so vibrant. Like you say good things, good vibrations. You feed it. And then the other bunch, you say like I hate you, like you really speak negatively to it and with passion, like you feel that anger and that hate towards it. And you can try it for yourself, you know, like to actually see it in person. And you'll see one of them will, the one that you gave love to, will stay vibrant. It will even taste sweet and digest really well in your body. And the other one will rot. And if you eat it, you'll feel like it's gonna upset your stomach because you fed it such negative vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
There's many studies with water as well. So there's even scientific facts that support what we're talking about.
Yeah. That's another thing that shows you that it's not just what you eat, because you can eat identically the same thing, but depending on the energy that thing has, or that thing has been nourished with. So those bananas that have been shown love will have a better effect on your body, and the bananas that have been hated their whole lives will have a negative effect on your body. That's super interesting, because I know in the whole health realm and raw foods and stuff, people like debate about foods and like what's right and what's wrong, but nobody really talks about like the way we eat and the energy behind the food. And it's just like, oh, bananas are good and meat is bad, but it's just like, it's deeper than that, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And I experienced it myself with my skin. I had really bad acne in the past before going into the raw vegan and fruit diet. And I remember my mindset around food, even like every time I would eat, I had anxiety, like eating the food, and I would break out right away. It was so crazy. And now I look back and I'm like, wow, I understand like how my own mindset around the food that I was eating, I was already like hating the food that I was gonna eat right before I ingesting it. So imagine how my body was reacting. Yeah. And now my skin has never been more vibrant than this. It's like
It looks super smooth
and I'm not even wearing makeup, nothing, not an inch of makeup.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, speaking of food, you were just on a juice feast and did some cleansing stuff. Can you talk about your experience, but also like explain that role in this whole food addiction thing? Because I know there's some controversy in like the whole juice cleansing world about the relationship with food addiction. So I would love to just hear from your perspective about it.
Yes. So being someone who did suffer from food addiction and an eating disorder, I find in my experience, even when I was suffering, like, and I would fall back on like binging or these patterns, at the same time, I was working on doing cleanses. So the process was not linear. Like what happened is I started doing cleanses and I didn't even know I was addicted to food. I didn't even know I was addicted to sugar. But when I processed sugar, not fruit sugar. And when I started doing these cleanses, I started really feeling what's going on in my body. So the fruits and the cleanses were actually healing me. And every time I would do a cleanse, and then let's say I would fall back into my patterns, I would see like what the processed sugar or the unhealthy foods were actually doing to me. So it actually made me more conscious and more aware, and it helped me break out of those patterns. And throughout the cleanses as well, what happens is you're releasing all of the toxins that have been built up from the processed foods. So from the years of eating processed foods, your juicing is releasing all of those toxins from your colon. So you're not even craving the processed foods as much anymore. So I found that if it weren't for juice cleanses and my fruits and the raw vegan diet, I would not have healed. That's my experience, and I can really say that it gave me my freedom. Like, fruits really showed me, like, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be eating. Because why was I also addicted? There's so many different reasons to this as well, and I find one of them is because I was eating the wrong foods as well, and my body was deprived of all of these nutrients. So I was craving more food and I wanted to eat more and nourish myself. So my body was just reacting to what was going on the inside. So when I started cleansing and I started eating fruits and vibrant, real living foods, I understood, like, okay, now I have energy. Like, that's dead food. You know, I was able to distinguish, like, okay, this is for me and this is not. So that was very interesting. It really showed me my freedom.
So basically helped you clean out the old stuff, the stuff that wasn't serving you, the processed foods and all that. And I'm thinking it also changed your taste buds, and your taste buds develop, and then you actually like no longer desire that dead food energetically, and also just like your body doesn't want it. Like, you don't want to eat it because you're more attracted to the living foods now.
Exactly. Like, my gut, it's very interesting because being someone who is addicted, again, you feel like when you're addicted, you feel this pull and you can't stop. And it's very challenging because it's like you want to get better, but you keep falling back and you don't understand why. So when I made these changes and my taste buds were changing and my cravings were changing, even my addictive patterns were shedding. And I was so surprised. I was like, wow, like, it's just so interesting when you're suffering so much and then the fruits give you the freedom and your gut microbiome changes. You don't even crave the toxic, heavy, oily foods. You just want vibrant food that makes you feel happy and joyful, and you have so much energy. So even when you fall back, you're gonna see, your mind is gonna tell you, like, okay, no, I don't want it. It's making me feel like it's not making me feel good, you know? Yeah. You
become more sensitive to that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So even if you have it, you realize, like, oh, I don't really actually want this, and you won't have it again so quickly.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's very rewarding in the work that I do with women. It's very rewarding to see them go from an addictive state, from a state of like relying on food to cope with their emotions and being stuck in a cycle, to being free, like fully free, and not even worrying about falling back into those patterns. No, very rewarding.
Can you share a bit about, actually that's really cool to hear, because I wanted to ask you about like some success stories, but can you first finish with the juice feast, about the one that you just did, and then we'll get into that. Can you tell us about it? Like, how did it go?
Yeah, so
and why did you do it now at this time of your life?
So I did a 40-day juice cleanse about a month ago, and just recently, a few days ago, I finished a 10-day water fast. So the 40-day juice cleanse, I did it because I felt like I needed to really, really allow my body. I hadn't done a very long one like that. I had only done like 14 days, 20 days maximum. So the 40 days, my goal was to really, really clean out my entire system and refurbish my gut microbiome. So I really wanted to get rid of all of the stuck waste in my colon, because there's pockets in our colon. And if you've eaten food that's processed, if you've drank alcohol, if you've smoked, if you've just taken any substances that are not good for you and eaten processed foods, and for me, in my case, for 24 years, 23 to 24 years, I ate foods like that. So I was just committed to just clean it all out and reinvent myself, to just become a whole new being. And it was very exciting. It really, really did affect me. And I saw how I want to make juicing just a part of my life, and how I want to drink mostly juices. It makes me feel good to just like drink juices and not too much solid foods. I just feel better, and I'm listening to my body and what my body needs. So the juice cleanse was really, really amazing. It challenges you. It really shows you how our society is honestly over-reliant on food to survive. And although we need food for energy, we don't need as much as we think we need. Our sources of nourishment and energy come from our breath and comes from fruits and herbs, So the purpose of my 40-day cleanse was just to clean out my colon and to refeed my gut microbiome with raw foods. I wanted to get rid of all the cooked foods and all of the parasites, the bacteria that we're craving, all the processed, cooked sugars, and all of the things that were no longer serving me. And so now I'm eating a raw vegan diet, and I believe this is the best diet for our species because it's untouched. It comes straight from nature. It hasn't been, all the nutrients are still vibrant. They're inside of the vegetables, the herbs, the fruits. And I do believe that our nature is perfect. It's perfectly designed. We don't need to touch it. And even if you look at animals, they don't cook their foods. So it just makes sense. And it resonates with my soul. It's a knowing that I have in my body. So it's also like I'm listening to my intuition. I'm listening to what my body needs. And I'm really following that route.
Yeah, and the more on raw foods that you are, the more in tune with your intuition you become, and the more you know like what's best for you in any given moment.
Exactly.
So I'm so happy to hear you like tuning into that path. It's really cool.
Thank you so much. And honestly, thinking about it makes me so happy because I was disconnected for so long. So the work that I'm doing is really showing women like this is your power. Like it's here, right here. It's inside of you. It's so rewarding to see it. Like the reconnection with yourself, with your soul. Yeah. And the water fast. Did you do that right after, or did you have like a break in between, or what? Yeah, I did have a break in between. I wanted to just see how I felt like eating the raw foods and this new lifestyle. And it was very interesting. So I had a few weeks, like 3 weeks, I believe, after the juice cleanse before I decided to go on the water fasting. And I wasn't ready to go on the water fast the years before this, but I always had it in my mind because I had heard all the benefits, all the amazing benefits around it. So I prepared myself, like slowly I prepared myself so that the detox symptoms are not as bad and as strong. Because when you detox too fast and you've been eating like unhealthy foods for a very long time, it's not, you're gonna feel more of the headaches, you're gonna feel more of the symptoms. So I want to give myself that good transition period. And so I did the 10-day water fast, and wow, that was an experience.
So I think I saw on your Instagram story, by the way, follow Carine on Instagram. I'll post her link below. But I think you shared that you have a few days left or something. And then that same day, you're like, oh, I'm going to actually end it today or by tomorrow. But does that mean you actually kept going?
I stopped 2 days before the date that I said I would.
Okay.
Which is okay, because I was listening to my body. Like, I did put a goal for myself, but at the same time, I told myself, like, I'm gonna listen to what my body is telling me to do. When I feel like stopping, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna force myself too much.
I'm a big fan of that. And I like to promote to people to listen to your body. And when you're like, I did a 3-month juice cleanse a few years ago, but I didn't plan 3 months. And I don't recommend, like, sometimes we just want to make records and stuff. I recommend just doing it one day at a time and listening to your body. And then if you feel like going on, just keep going on. But if you feel like stopping, so that you're not like forcing yourself, because that could lead to eating disorder or something too, you know?
Yes.
So it's not good to force yourself. That's why I'm not a big fan of like setting fasting goals unless you're like supervised in a center or something. But I think it's better to like take it one day at a time.
I think it's so important that you're speaking about this, because I can speak from my own experience, and my journey to healing was not linear. I failed a million times. Like, I started cleansing at the beginning of my journey, and I was still in my addictive patterns, and I didn't even know. So I was figuring it out. And your entire life, you're going to be figuring it out. Your body's going to change. You have to allow yourself to heal. I had to ditch the mindset of, oh, I need to lose weight right now. You know, like, I needed to allow my body to heal first and go through the shifts in weight, so that I could actually lose weight from a healthy space. And it looks different for everyone, you know? So like, I might have different organs that are not functioning as well as someone else. So the journey is really, really not linear, and it's very important to go at your own pace. No, like, you have to go at your own pace. And this is also what I teach women, like, to take that pressure off of their shoulders, to accept themselves.
And I think like even like the failures are not really failures. That's just stepping stones, and you're learning from it. Because you could have been like, oh, I failed because I cut my water fast 2 days early. But really, you have that experience, and now like it's time to eat, and maybe one day you'll want to do another water fast or something. But it's just like you're part of your evolution.
Exactly. And if you don't fail, you don't learn. Like, now looking back, I can say that the times that I was failing, I was frustrated because I didn't have the mindset of like, okay, I'm failing, but I'm growing. I didn't have that mindset back then. But now looking back, I'm like, wow, like, I learned so much from those experiences, and it made me even more resilient. You know, like, I never gave up. Even though I failed, I kept going back up. So it's really like, it showed me that I'm so powerful, and I'm able to empower myself even when I'm failing. So showing these women, like, even if you're failing right now, it's fine. You know, like, you're growing through your failures. If you don't have the failures, then you're not going to find your power. They go hand in hand. They're together, you know? So it's the yin and the yang, the balance. You need it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you share some success stories of some of the women you help?
Yeah. So I helped, the first woman that I actually helped is a good friend of mine. Her name is Tenny. And her too, she suffered from an eating disorder. And how she came to me was really, really, like, I've known her my entire life, so I know the patterns. And she came with a lot of anxiety, a lot of anger, a lot of body dysmorphia, just an energy of like disconnection from the body and not being able to stop eating and coping. So, and the success story like is mostly two things that I see my clients, the difference, like the end result. I see them, their mental state is completely different. They're very positive. They're very empowered. They feel like they can do anything in life. They're invincible. And also they feel like they have a strong foundation to build the body of their dreams. So even like we're always going to want to progress. So even Tenny, her body, like she was in a certain place, and then the way she progressed was, okay, like my relationship to my body now, like I love my body, and now I have these goals, and I can lose weight from a good space, and she knows what foods to eat. She's not addicted anymore. Like she feels like the body that she has is already the body of her dreams, and she could perfect it. She can make it the way that she wants it to look, and not the way society wants it to look, you know? So it's really, really rewarding to see someone go from their addictive patterns to freedom, full freedom and power. So that's a very good one. And I have other girls, like honestly, all of my clients, I would say, come to me from a state of like, or it's anxiety, shame, fear, and judgment. Judgment of how you look in your body and how you feel, and the confidence level that you have. So it shifts from low self-esteem to being confident, even if you have like a bit of fat on your body, you know? So just accepting yourself like as you are, and working like to better yourself from a loving space. So the shift, that's the biggest success stories that I would say. It's the shift in mindset, shift in the acceptance, the food addiction disappears. There's a lot of good things that come out of it, I would say, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of women need to hear this message, and I'm sure you can help a lot more going forward. And if somebody wanted help right now, what can you recommend them? Do you have any resources or tools that they can use today?
Yeah, so I offer meditations, and I also offer coaching. So I offer either one-on-one coaching, or I have a program. So we go through a program of 3 months, and I guide you through a period of healing and just rewiring your thought patterns, the way you feel about yourself. We go through the mental, the physical, so the body, and spiritual as well. So your connection to everything, your connection to food. And I really, really recommend a lot of movement. I feel like movement is what makes the energy flow. No, so I really encourage women to move their bodies, whatever that looks like, you know, whatever you like to do, move your body more. Because if you're just sitting and you're gonna be more in your mind, you know, you're gonna be more like stagnant. The energy is stagnant when you're just like thinking and you're not moving. So I recommend a lot of movement, yoga, which is actually a combination of the mind, body, and soul. So you're connecting to your inner world a lot to yoga when you're doing yoga, and working your physical as well. So meditation, yoga, movement. I have a free ebook as well that includes all of these different parts. There's juice recipes inside. The link is in my bio on my Instagram. So the link in my bio also has the place where you can book a free consultation with me if you want to see if we're a good fit to work with each other and help you on your journey to healing.
Yeah, I'll also post your links below so you guys can find Carine easily. And what is your vision for the future of your work in helping women with food addiction and achieve their desired body image?
So my vision is to have a very big community of women and to create a safe container where women can be heard and they can be seen for who they truly are, and for women to be able to let their guard down and their walls down. And my vision is to really empower women and to show them that you don't need to rely on anything outside of yourself to become the best version of yourself, and that you are already enough and you are perfect the way you are. So my vision for the future is to have a bigger community, to have more girls in my circle, in my container, to help more women and to just help them with all of their goals and their dreams, help them see that it is possible.
Do you have a community actually? Like a...
Yes, I do.
Really?
I do. I will send you the link. It's on the platform School.
Yeah. School is a really good platform for community.
Yeah.
Okay, I will share all those links below. So where can people follow you? Like where you're most active, and where should people go to follow you? I'll add that below too, but what do you want to share?
Yeah, you can follow my Instagram. So it's Carine_Dana. So with a C, we will post it below. And also I have a TikTok as well, which is the same username, and we will post that as well. Yeah. So
okay.
TikTok.
I got to add you to my TikTok.
Yes.
All right. And you have a YouTube channel, which I will also share, which you're just launching, I believe, or you're just starting?
Yes. It's a new channel. So I will be posting so many videos. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Yeah, you got to teach this to the world and to the women out there. Cool. Thank you so much, Carine. It was really nice having you on here. I think you shared a lot of light and wisdom.
Thank you for having me. This was amazing.
My pleasure. Yeah, this is really fun talking to you.
You too.
Okay, so I will see you on the next one, and much love, everyone. Peace out.
Much love. Bye.